Courage to Change. This week, I have a mighty woman of God, Melissa Gabriel. She's the Link Church Oikos family group leader. She's the coordinator of Oklahoma City's homeless outreach. She's the CEO and founder of Gregory's Heart for Hope. How you doing, girl?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. It's good to see you. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome. Good to be here.
So, tell us a little bit about your story. What's the background behind Gregory's Heart of Hope first?
Okay. The background behind Gregory's Heart of Hope, in 2012, the day before Mother's Day, I lost my brother to suicide. He said goodbye to us on Facebook, and he was gone in about 30 minutes. February of 2013, during the snowstorm, I was riding, screaming, crying, asking God, why would he allow this to happen? Because he's the only one that could have stopped it. And some people might say I'm a little crazy, but God said, because of you. Because I knew that you had the determination and the motivation. And I knew that you could do something with this. And I had some attorneys that represent me for free through the duration of the nonprofit, and I had 5 minutes to come up with a name. And so we came up with Gregory's Heart of Hope because my brother had a big heart. He gave the shirt off his back. And also his name, to keep him living on.
Right.
And
that's good.
Wanting to let people know that there is hope.
Right.
So I help people that struggle in any area of life.
Right.
Because 1,000 things could lead us to suicide or suicidal thoughts.
Right.
And that's kind of where that came from.
Right. I get it. I've been there with the suicidal thoughts, dealing with depression, anxiety, dealing with addiction, and overcoming that obstacle in my life. So let's go back a little bit and tell us about your own personal life challenges and how you've overcome them.
Okay. So I'm originally from Pittsburgh, grew up in Lewisville, Texas, right outside of Dallas. My parents divorced when I was 10, and I dealt with a lot of domestic violence, emotional and mental abuse growing up. So in my teenage years, I was seeking love in all the wrong places. I ended up being pregnant at 15, gave the baby up for adoption. So I have a total of 5 kids by 4 different guys. Then got married to someone that was just like my father. In 2005, we were married for 7 years. A lot of domestic violence, mental abuse, emotional. When my brother died by suicide, May 12th, I left my ex-husband 8 days later. I realized that life was too short and that I had been lost most of my life, just because of how my father treated me, and certain things he said to me forced me to become lost. And in that moment, left my ex-husband, and God showed me so many things, about myself, and how to find my way back to who I originally should have been, before all of those things. So that's kind of...
So he's refined you through the fire.
Yes.
And he's manifesting your true identity in Christ.
Yes.
Which is super awesome.
Yes.
And so talk about your article, the article that was published in Focus first.
Okay. So the article in Focus is a digital magazine that is about depression, anxiety, those things, but also spiritual. So it's kind of human spiritual side. And I talked about overcoming depression, my own depression, low self-esteem and low self-worth, and looking for love in all the wrong places, like guys or men, looking for acceptance. And how I overcame that was through Christ, turning to Christ after losing my brother to suicide, and allowing him to transform me.
That's good. That's good stuff. Okay, and then you had another article published in The Brilliant Awakening.
Yes, and there was a contest.
And the title was Obedience is the Key?
Yes, obedience is the key to not only set you free, but it sets other people free. And I won the Year of Yes contest to have a free writing put in there.
That's super awesome. Okay, so if I was to, first of all, I want to thank you for giving me an opportunity to serve for Gregory's Heart for Hope this past Sunday. And it was an opportunity for me to reflect back 2.5 years ago when
Wow.
I was homeless and I was living at City Rescue Mission.
Wow.
And so I thank you for that opportunity. And it was such a blessing. I had a good time. I'm going to show you guys the pictures from that event. And then if I was to say temporary versus eternal, what would you tell me?
Eternal.
Eternal? Okay, give me an example of what's an eternal type of action that we as Christians or people of faith have to or choose to, the decisions we choose to make.
So you're saying a decision that's eternal.
Right.
I would say, for me, the biggest decision is for me to love the way Christ loves us, because that's the biggest way to bring the hopeless out of the dark pit that they're in, is to actually love them the way Christ loves us. Unconditionally, without judgment.
That's good. Okay, and then the topic for last week in our small group was the 99.
Yes.
So for you, give me an example of what we do, what we should do to not wander off the pack of the 99, not to be that one missing.
So one example.
Exactly.
One example, which would be the biggest example, and we talked about it tonight,
right,
is to allow yourself to look in the mirror.
Right.
And let God reveal to you what you need to work on so that you can no longer be the one that he has to continue to come after.
That's good stuff. That's good. Well, thank you. Okay, so last question. If you were a superhero, what kind of superhero would you be, or who would you be, and why?
Wonder Woman.
And why?
I think because she's resilient. Yes. she can run and take the attacks, and it doesn't affect her.
Right. That is so you. Yeah. That fits. Like you're super strong. Like super strong character, and it manifests itself. In our small groups and church, and you just have this winning attitude, like this graceful winning attitude, like you can get through anything.
Yes.
And I know that comes from a lot of your past.
Yes,
of what all the trials you've overcome.
Yes.
Which is super cool. And that's why I wanted to interview you so I could share that with the world. So if you have a servant's heart and you want to serve, get in touch with Melissa, and they can get in touch with you at
through Facebook, Melissa Gabriel. Gregory's Heart of Hope is also on Facebook, and all of my phone numbers and any information is on Facebook.
Well, thank you, Melissa.
Thank you.
Can we do a follow-up later on down the road?
Yes, you sure can.
All right. Thank you. Okay, this is Brian Wright with Melissa Gabriel. This is Courage to Change, Grace and Peace.